Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Sale-A-Bration and we're looking at part 2 of my 12 cards with one sheet of designer series paper. Now we're now into July, so this is now live and I can open this up and show you there we go. The absolutely lovely, you get the stamp set, you get all of the paper, and these are some of the things that they've done. I'm going to be doing lots with it, but I'm just doing this one to start off with. So you can get this for a qualifying order of £90. So it's quite a big one, but there's lots that you can do with it. So if you're putting in a large order, why don't you get this one for free? Because the papers are just absolutely stunning. So that's the stamp set. We're not even looking at that yet. I haven't even opened it. It's brand new in its packet. These are the papers. The papers are beautiful. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through for the people that didn't see the first part of the video. So you've got this one and then you've got a green on the other side. You've got these, and this is what we're using. So I'm going to take this one out because I've already cut one of those up. We've got this one with the yellow on the back, but really nice florals. They're ever so pretty. We've got this one with a rich raspberry on the back. We've got this one with, again, beautiful flowers on there. Very sort of small and symmetrical. Reminds me of sort of old vintage wallpaper. And then we've got these ones, which are smaller flowers. So, you know, again, use a little die cut or a circle. You can have that as a nice little, you know, front of a card. And then you've got the pink on the back. So, beautiful papers. This is the one that we are using and that I have used. So if you look at this, you can see, you can cut out all of these flowers. And then if you look at the side, even though this one is cut off there, I'm actually using this one today. So, you know, yes, you need to sit and do a little bit of fussy cutting, but you can use the pieces at the bottom. And I've done 12 cards out of this one sheet. So I think that that's very economical, fun, easy. And I will do a quick recap of the 6 that we already did. If you haven't watched it, then it's the video before this one. So if you subscribe to me and hit the notification button, and go on to videos, you will see part 1 of 2, and we're obviously on 2. So these are the ones that we did. So that's a plain one. That's one that I've done with some really nice background, and that is the Quiet Meadow background. That again is a plain one up on dimensionals. And again, this one is done with the background, so you can do your own background on there. So we've got those with the backgrounds, and this one, if you are somebody who doesn't particularly like fussy cutting, I made this really quite wide round there, put it down and then do your stamping over the top so that it almost blends into it completely. So that was the first 6 that we did. We're now going to do another 6 in totally different ideas, so that it gives you, even if you just want to do one card, it gives you ideas of what you're going to do with it or how you can do it. So the first one is, let me just get it out so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so I have this flower. And if we look at the paper, I'm going to go to the paper so you can see. So this one comes down at the bottom like that. So you can see it's not completely in on there and you've got a piece cut off. So what I did was I've taken a, this is the contour dies, and this is a rectangular one, and I was cutting various things out and this actually fits really well inside. So that's what I'm going to put inside. We're going to make them as we go. So a little bit of wet glue inside. And I've done more preparation on this one because the last one was nearly an hour long, so I don't want this to be quite as long for you. Okay, so this, because it's cut off, we don't need to worry about it, but I'm going to stick it right down on the bottom, and I can put it up with dimensionals, or this time I'm just going to put it flat. So we're going to do a combination of dimensionals and flat, because again, if you're posting and you don't want the card to have too much width, if you leave the dimensionals off, then you don't have to worry about that. So I'm taking it right down to the bottom, putting that in on there. And this is the rich raspberry, because the paper goes with the rich raspberry. Then I'm going to, so I haven't wasted anything because I've actually die cut that out of the center. So this piece is just going to go on here. So I can put that in on there. Like that, and then this I'm going to put at a slight angle because I quite like it when it's not completely symmetrical and straight. I think sometimes putting things at just a little bit of an angle, it gives you just a different look to it. So I'm just going to put it down at an angle like that in on the center, and then I've just got a little sentiment, which is the together, the what's it, the sentiments, through it together. I used it the other time and they're just quite nice for just putting across, and I'm going to put that in at an angle as well, and again I'm just gluing it all down. So this one, you've got your layer from there, but the rest of it is flat. So say if you are doing a lot of postage and worried about your postage, then it doesn't really matter too much, because you can just put that in like that and have it all sort of one layer. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this one onto the base, and we've then got our 7th card done. And as I say, this was using a little scrap piece from the back, but you can see again, you can have this as a really lovely focal point on the card. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. So again, this is another one that I have that was cut from the side, so you can see that one was, and that's this one here. Okay, so it's the one that's cut from the side, and this time I'm going to no, I'm going to keep this one flat as well. So that I want to have right up to the edge. And again, you can see I just sort of fussy cut it round. Not always overly precise. You don't have to be, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't fussy cut at all. You don't have to be overly precise. You know, you can leave quite big boards and things round, which you can see I have done with this. I haven't sort of cut it inside, but what I want is for this to go right down onto the side here, as if we've intentionally cut it to go down the side. Okay, so that can then go onto there. And that gives us our next one. And then this time the sentiment is from the bamboo set, which I really love because it's got some lovely sentiments in on there. And because there's quite a bit of space down here, I can put quite a good size sentiment. And it says, a true friend is the one who holds your hand and touches your heart. So I think that that's quite nice. I've tried to keep them fairly neutral sentiments so that they can go to anybody at any time, because if you're doing a set of 12 cards, you don't necessarily want them all the time. You know, you'll have them in, or you can give them as a set to somebody. And you then don't have to worry too much about what sentiment you put. Or quite often I will make a set of cards and I won't put any sentiments in at all, and then as I pick them out to send them, I will then add the sentiment. So it's entirely up to you. If you're giving them as a gift, again, you can do a mixture of happy birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, or just make them like this one, fairly sort of generic. Now, if we wanted to just fancy this one up a little bit, we can use, let me have a look at get my dimensional, or my twinkly pot out, and yes, I have got this. Okay, so they're in the annual catalogue, and they are champagne rhinestones, which I think are very pretty. So they're the sort of thing that will just quite easily just pretty things up just a little bit. So I'm going to just put just a couple on, I think. So we can have one on there, and I quite like sometimes making them look like, let's drop that one off, one on that side. Making it look as if it's like a little bullet, you know, a notice board on there. So you can put that in, and to say it just jazzes it up a little bit. So you've got that in like that, and that just makes it, you could put one on either corner if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it like that, or you could put it on one on the corner instead of the other. So that's card number 2. Okay, card number 3, we've taken this flower, which is from, so this one is over in this corner. So we've taken that one, and this time I've used rectangles. So these are the stitched rectangles in different sizes. And again, a very quick and easy way of just adding a little bit of extra interest. So this one is just going to be stuck straight on here for the border. And as I say, once you start going, there are all sorts of ideas and things that you can use. So we'll have, let's put this one in on here. Like that. I can put that one in. And again, I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have this one completely straight. You know, you could take it at an angle, but because it's bigger, I'm going to have it straight. So I'm just taking that. That's going to go in straight. So as much of the same distance as you can, because then you've got a nice framework. Then we'll have this on here. This I'm going to put up with dimensionals, because now I've got my box out, I can put it up with the dimensionals. Let me just get my dimensionals out. I think I'm going to do a mixture of large and small. Or I might be able to just get all large. I might have to do a little one in. The good thing with the minis is that you can pop them into little tiny spaces, and it's not too bad. So I can put this little one in on this corner there, and that makes sure that that sticks down. I might need to just put another one in on there. As long as you've got them sort of even, so that you don't have any sags in the middle. And take those off. Little ones are more difficult than the larger ones. I know people use the take your pick tool to take them off. I'm not really, a bit too cat-handed for that. So, okay, so that's going to come in on here, and it looks nice where it's just sort of, it's not completely in the frame. It just goes over the side a little bit and then we can just pop this one, sending you this paper hug. That I'm going to put, I don't think, let's put a dimensional either end, and we'll have a little bit of glue in the center, I think, because otherwise it's not going to go completely. Whoops. So the little ones aren't as easy to get the tops off, but that's because I'm a bit cat-handed. So right, sending you this paper hug. That can just go in across like that. There we go. And let's put that on a base. Whoops, got a couple of them out. And so, as I say, we've got some really nice, we've taken all of the colours from the paper, and you can always tell what the colours are because they have them on the back of the pack of paper. So, you know, it's easy to follow. So if you haven't got this paper, or you're not going to use this paper, you know, look and see what other papers you've got, and then take it from there, and you can use that. So that's 3. Okay, now let's take number 4, and number 4 is a circular one. Okay, so this, I love this flower actually. That's the one right in the center there. Okay, so that's definitely going up with dimensionals. What I want to do though is I am going to, rather than put the words in, I'm going to stamp the sentiment at the bottom. And I think I'm going to use, I've pulled this one out because I do love colour and contour. So you are absolutely amazing. I think that that will work beautifully at the bottom. And I just need to get my, have I got the ink pad out? I want the, I wanted the Starry Sky. I thought I'd put them, oh yes, I've still got them out, that's fine. Better organised than I thought I was. So we've got the Starry Sky, and we are going to put You're Absolutely Amazing, and we're going to stamp that at the bottom. So if you're stamping, always do it before you stick it all together, because if you make a boo-boo, you then, it's quite easy to just turn around and go, okay, right, I can turn the paper over, I can cut myself a new piece of paper rather than having to do the whole card. So this is photopolymer, which is always easier to see. So I can just put that in, allow it to relax, pick it up, and then let's just take this from here. And so this is going to come sort of in a little bit up at the top. So I want the sentiment to sort of come here. You're absolutely amazing. And as I say, you don't have to always put things up or die cut them out. Sometimes it's nice to have that layer which is just a little bit lower. So excuse my arm coming across, I'm just looking for my Simply Shut, there it is. I've got all of these bits out, and I've got my Simply Chamois over on here, which needs another clean again. There we go. Okay, so I can put that one away so I don't lose it. And now we've done this, we can now start putting it together. So take that off. With darker colours, be careful because they can smudge, so leave them for a few seconds. So we're going to do this bit next. This is going to come in with, and this is just cut with the circle dies. So a scallop and a plain, because I quite like the combination of the two together. So you've got the scallop and then you've got the plain one coming through. And then that can go in like that. We need to put on here some dimensionals, which I've just taken out, and I can only see my minis. There they are. So let's put these in on here. And then we'll have a little mini just down on the stalk. Hopefully just, I think it'll just go. Yes. Okay, so we can now put this one in. Take that out of the way. And then we can put this one on here. I quite like the circular shape with this one. I think it will look really nice. So that can then come in just like that. That can come down on there. Then we can put it on like this. And we'll put this one in, whoops, in on the center like that. That then has to go onto the mat. So I've enjoyed doing these. They've been fun to do. I like the idea of doing lots of different cards just out of one sheet. It's quite fun to do, you know, a complete mixture of different cards. And I think once we get all 12 of them out, you'll be able to see that you've got, you know, quite a good selection. So again, you know, just look at them. If you don't want to use the paper, just look at them as the set out of, or the structure that you can then put whatever you want on there. So, you know, again, just having the circle in there, you could put any image on there. I really like that one. That's probably one of my favorites. We'll see. Now we've got a couple of little fun ones, and they're trying to see how many there are. They are, I've got that one, and I've got this one, and you'll notice we've got some really cute little characters in there. This is a new one. It's the end of the 12, so 11 and 12, and it's a bit of a sneak peek of something that I'm going to be showing. I've just got this one in on my order. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love it, and I will show you the stamp set. So it's called Kindest Gnomes. You have dies that go with it, and I just think it's lovely. You know, you can use it all. Little Gnomes in the Garden, which is what I'm doing with this, is something that we, and I don't know whether it's throughout the world. It's certainly in the UK. We tend to have, you know, little garden gnomes and things, and so these are just perfect. So what I've done is I have taken the colours so that I looked at the flower and I thought, okay, what alcohol markers have I got that will work with that? So we have lots of blends, and I'm sure that most of you have lots of other alcohol markers as well. So it's that sort of thing that that works pretty well. So we have the flower, and then I've got the little gnome that's just going to sit there, and then I've got the sentiment to come in underneath. So am I going to put it on with no, I'm going to put this one flat. As I say, sometimes I like dimensionals, sometimes I like it flat, because it just sometimes works better flat. I could put the gnome up with dimensionals, but I think I want him or her to just tuck in with the flowers so that it looks as if it's, you know, coming with the flower. So we'll put the flower in on the center like that. And then the little gnome is going to sit just there. So I could have the gnome up with a dimensional, couldn't I? No, I don't want to. I want to have it all. Sometimes if you have one bit with dimensional, it accentuates, and I really want the gnome to just sort of blend in with the flowers, as if he's just sort of sitting there hiding himself in between the flowers, like that. And then I've got You Are So Loved, because I thought that that was quite sweet. So that's that one. Like that, and I'm just having it so that it tucks in over the top, and I've done this one just at a bit of an angle as well, so that it looks a little bit better. Then I can put this one in on here. And I expect some of you wonder what I do with all my cards, because I have a lot. I belong to a couple of rack groups, and racks are random acts of kindness, and so we send cards across the world to various different people, and so I always have cards that I can send. Woo! So it's me throwing the flower on the floor. Just pick that up. There we go. So, you know, cards never go to waste. I quite often give cards away as well, which I've always got friends and family as well that I send cards to. So I always have plenty of cards to send. You can always sell your cards if you want to, as long as you do the angel policy, which means that you put the Stamping Up logo stamp, which we sell, and you can put those wherever you want. Right, we're going to put this one up with dimensionals, just so that we've got something that's different. So if we put this on here, and then I can just see how we're doing. There we are. And again, I'm just going to put a little mini down in on the stem to make sure that that's all right. Oh, while I'm at it, I need to put a couple of dimensionals on our gnome, so it's sort of a real flower fairy look. And then this is our last one of the 6, and then I can show you all 12 of them, and you can then let me know which is your favourite. There we go, that's up there. I think I'm going to have him that side, like that, and then the sentiment's going to come there, so I need to put another dimensional in on that side, and then I can put a little bit of glue on the other bit so that it just attaches, because I don't want too much, otherwise it'll get at the wrong angle. So let's put that in like that. Just put that on, and then that can go in on here. I do love these little gnomes. Oh, so many things I've got planned with them. I just love them. And they are perfect for Christmas, you know, with red hats and you know, Santa's little gnomes, Santa's little helpers. But they are also absolutely lovely all the year round as little, like flower fairies, little garden gnomes. I think they're gorgeous. So let's put that in on here. Okay, so let's do a run through of all the cards. We now have 12 cards to send, just using this one sheet. So you can see from here all of the different ones that we've cut out right the way through. This one, as opposed to hanging down, I turned it round and I had it up that way. But let's have a look. So we'll go backwards. So we've got the lovely gnome, and I've done 2 with the gnomes, so you can see how pretty they are to add a little gnome. You know, if you've got fairies and things, you can add fairies to the flowers. You know, it just makes them just a little bit more fun. That one, I do like that. I think that looks lovely with the scallop circles on there. And then this one with the rectangles. So you've got that one on there. And then that one which is plain but with a large sentiment at the bottom. This one again, which was the little cut-off piece, so don't worry about, you know, not using your cut-offs. And then these ones from the other day, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So you've got 12 cards out of 1 sheet of designer series paper, few other little bits and pieces added on, and as I say, you know, put them in a box, put them in a do them in sets of 6, and you've got, you know, lovely cards. And we haven't used too much, and we've used what we've got from our stash as well. So as always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind. Look forward to seeing you again very soon. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.